What's up, guys? Earl at Sumo Bully Kennels back at you with another one. Today we're doing a second episode of Dog Talk. I want to go over pedigrees. The importance of pedigrees. You know, a lot of you guys reach out to me and ask about pedigrees, the value of a puppy, a dog that you're looking to buy or have purchased, right? So these are some commonly asked questions that I get in my DMs, text messages, emails, and stuff like that. So, what is the value of a dog's pedigree? Let's get into it. So, for me, the value of a dog's pedigree matters for many reasons, right? For a breeder, number one, looking at a dog's pedigree is going to give you that window. It's going to give you a look of dogs prior, the dog's parents, grandparents, great grandparents. And in terms of being a breeder, what you're really looking for are the dogs leading up to the current dog, right? The genotype of the dog, for example, the characteristics and traits you're looking for. Maybe for you it's color or head size, front spread, rear, top line, the stoop on the back of the neck. Maybe it's the face, you're looking for a shorter muzzle, a nicer stop on the nose. So reviewing a dog's pedigree really gives you insight on the dogs that created that dog, which pretty much is going to help guide you when you get the dog and when you're looking to breed the dog, right? So let's just give that's my generic 2-minute breakdown of that, but I will emphasize a little bit. So the next one is for a show person. Why does a pedigree matter to a show person, right? Well, the truth is most of us are buying puppies, and you're getting these puppies between 8, 10, or 12 weeks. In which case, I don't know, all breeders say, oh, look at these puppies are humongous. These are the biggest puppies I've seen, and so forth and so on. I mean, I'm not calling anyone a liar, but I'm just saying every person that has a litter says that. And I don't know if you've looked if you looked at people who have litters and are advertising their litters. I mean, no one's going to go out there and say, oh, look, this is the shrimpiest litter I've ever had, right? So, I don't give that much value. And besides, at 8 to 10 or 12 weeks, you can barely even see anything. You're going to see some things, but really, that dog is going to grow for another 18 to 36 months. And so, you're looking at how cute the dog is or the puppy is, and all puppies are cute. And so really that's the important of the pedigree when you're buying that puppy, is understanding, like, what does the mom look like, right? The phenotype of the mom, and what's her genotype, right? What's in her background. Looking at the dad. What does the dad look like? His feet, his top line, his head, his spread. And what does the dogs behind him look like? And that gives us a window to see the potential that the puppy that we're buying and investing in is going to develop and become. And so that's why I say, if you're buying a puppy, definitely look at the pedigree. Look at the mom and the dad. That's your first clues, right? If you can't see them in person, at least get some good pictures, good videos. That way you understand what you're getting into. Because the reality of it is that puppy's going to pull from either the mom's side or the dad's side, right? And depending on which side the puppy pulls from, if the puppy favors the dad, well, then you kind of want to look at the pedigree of the dad to see, the dog's types that's behind on the dad's side, the dad's parents and grandparents and whatnot. And that's going to give you, a clearer picture of what to expect, right? So if you're buying a dog for spread, let's just say, right? Just an example. You're buying a dog because you're looking for that nice spread up front. However, the dad's a little narrow and the mom is just so-so, right? She doesn't really have that widespread. And you look at the pedigree, and the dogs are also not super, they don't have that killer widespread up front. And chances are, if you're buying a dog for spread, you're not going to get the spread you're looking for, to be honest, right? And I know that sounds like common sense, and you would think that everyone would know that. However, from the questions I've been getting asked, I wanted to cover this topic. And so, for a pet home, for example, does the pedigree even matter? I believe so, because if you, as a pet home owner, you're still investing in the dog, right? This is going to be your family member. This dog's going to give you 8, 10, 12, 14 years. I think that before you invest your money, regardless if you're a breeder, show person, or pet home, that you should look at the pedigree of the dog. See, what characteristics are prevalent, any flaws, right? I don't want to say defects, but flaws in the pedigree, because at the moment when you get the dog, you're so excited. It may not matter to you at that moment, and then as time progresses in adult, the dog matures 2-3 years later. Now you love the dog, and there's the cost of attachment. However, you may not like certain characteristics that this dog has. So, and what do I mean by that? It's when we got our first bully, we're not looking to breed. We just wanted a pet dog. Luckily, he's a little over 2 now, and he's pretty clean, And so what I'm saying is your mind may shift from the time you originally get the pup to fast forward a year, 2 or 3 years down the line, or 4 years. All of a sudden, like, hey, you know what? I might stud this dog out, or I might try a litter. So situations and mindsets can change, right? Your situation can change, and so it's important that even though you're not looking to be a breeder or show person at the time that you're making a commitment to buy a dog, that may change. You may go down the rabbit hole like we did and decide that, hey, I want to kind of try this, or I want to take my dog to show, a fun show or whatever, just because you enjoy the culture, you enjoy the community, the camaraderie, and like to see other dogs. And at that point, now you're going to rewind back to a decision you made 3 years ago, and kind of like, man, I should have did more research. I should have asked more questions. And so I bring that up because I'm sure everyone here, if you're watching this video at some point in your life, you made a decision, and later on you realized that you made a rash decision. You should have done more research, and I'm not just speaking of dogs, I'm talking about in general. We've all made those mistakes in life, and those are the best teachers. So why I'm covering this episode is, so maybe if you are interested in getting a dog, that I encourage you to, do your due diligence, because just because you don't want to be a breeder now does not mean you may want to become a breeder later. Okay, so getting off that topic and moving right along, one of my favorite tools to use online is Pitpedia, right? Take this picture of our baby boy Kaiju down. So if you go to Pitpedia, you can do the search, type in the name of a dog, and let's just go over some of the parents of the dogs we have. So you see it here. Let's go to Godiva. There she is. Everyone knows who watches my stuff knows I love this dog. So here it is. What do I mean by research, right? Look up the dog, and you can see they registered her on here. I can see her mom, Zoe, and her dad, Goosebump. And then I could see the parents of those dogs. And I can see the parents of those dogs if I click one down even more. It's important, like for me, I put our dogs in Pitpedia. And so if you are communicating with a breeder or someone that's, you're interested in a dog, one of the things that is free to do, right, costs you absolutely nothing, is to register, create an account on Pitpedia and put your dog in Pitpedia, right? And so if I'm buying a dog from somebody and they're not even putting their dog in Pitpedia, you know, I'll be honest, you know, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but already that's kind of, you know, a negative mark for me, because, you know, if I'm going to invest in your puppy and spend some money with you, and you can't even do a free thing such as go online for 5 minutes, create an account, and put your dog on there so I can see the parents and grandparents of the dog and trace it, then it's kind of like a red flag against you already. You already got a mark in my book, because oftentimes we get the pedigrees that we send to ABKC for registering a dog, right? And maybe some of you guys have seen it, or some of you guys have not. But basically, it's a piece of paper with a bunch of names and reg numbers, right? Which means absolutely nothing. Because now you got to take those names, try to find these dogs online, because you're trying to get a feel for what this dog will look like and whatnot. It's not really time efficient or, you know, or effective at all. So I do like when people put their stuff on Pitpedia. That's my personal preference. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but for me, it matters. So I'll take you, rewind back and show you what I'm talking about, right? So we got 2 puppies off Godiva. And what was I looking at, right? I was a big fan of Godiva, and why? Well, first, here's her parents. Blueberry's Goosebump, who's off of Markov. I like Markov. He's a legendary dog, right? Zoe is off of HBK's Roulette, who's also off Markov, right? Jaegerbomb is off of Wonka. Guess who Wonka's off of? Let me click for you. Wonka is off Markov. So you're following the pattern here, right? So when I say I'm a fan of Godiva and I got 2 puppies from her, it's because of this, right? So I got Markov one time over on Goosebump, Markov 2 times on the side of Zoe, right? Zoe's a big value dog, right? Nice line bred dog, and I'll go over that in a minute. So here's Bossy Stacks off Adios. So clicking down on each one of this on Pitpedia makes it very easy for you, for me, for anybody who kind of wants to look at, has interest in the dog. So here it is, right? Here's Godiva. You see Zoe, nice. Goosebump. Then you see the dogs behind it, right? These are good, solid, big dogs, big name dogs. Markov's a big name. Wonka's a big name. Bossy Stacks. I mean, name it. So this is what I mean about doing your research. Excuse me, I got a little bit of a cold, guys. Still haven't shook it, right? So what is the value of a puppy, you know? Or a puppy you're planning on purchasing or you have purchased, right? And people say, well, what's the fair market value? To me, there is a fair market value for a dog, right? And any market is determined by supply and demand. However, not all supply is created equal. So, to me, a line-bred dog, purchasing a line-bred dog is a good investment, right? And why? A line-bred dog, here, Godiva again, is a line-bred dog. You're going to see Markov 2 times on the mom side, Markov on the dad side, right? You're getting that consistency, and again, Markov is a big name. And therefore, look at Markov and look at Goosebump, right? I mean, he really throws his look, is what I'm saying. And so buying a line-bred dog means the breeder has put in 2 or 3 generations of consistency, picking a dog that they like, whether it's the mom or the dad, and focusing on the bloodline so that you got that tight blood in there and you're establishing a look, a size, a head, all the consistency you're looking for. Because I mean, outside of just straight up inbreeding, this is as good as clean as you're gonna get without having the defects. I mean, if you really want to lock in a look, inbreeding is the way, but you also run a chance of bringing in the stuff that you don't like. So here we are. Where were we? Okay, so imagine for someone to produce this dog 2 or 3 generations off the same bloodline, hunting down dogs, you know, time. You pick up a puppy 2 years before you can breed, so forth and so on. So a good line bred dog may take 3.5 to 4 years to create. And this is what you're looking at right here with Godiva. So understanding a high value dog is being able to read and understand the pedigree. So the dogs I got, because she's already nicely line bred, they took her to, 1 second here, let me show you how we make decisions, right? So that I can help you make a decision. So you guys know, if you don't know, go back to my past episodes on Kaiju and Snickers. So I bought 2 pups off the Goya and Godiva litter. So now this is an outcross, right? Godiva is a line bred girl. We just went over that. Now you're taking her for the outcross. That's what's going to bring in your vigor, right? And they took her to Goya, which they have not updated his pictures. However, you're not going to see anything really in common on this side of the board. On the dad's side, because that's what's called an outcross. He's already double line bred a girl. There's no need to line breed a 3rd time. By the 2nd line breed, now you can bring in an outcross to create something better, right? That's the goal of line breeding and outcrossing. Outcrosses are necessary, and so is line breeding. So when I pick 2 puppies up from this litter, my breeder already line bred the girl twice over, and now he's outcrossing, and so that outcross vigor is what I'm looking for to see, you know, based on the male that they took him to, the line bred girl that they have. Now I'm excited for what this thing is going to be. So understanding like that brings a lot of value into your program, and when you're purchasing a dog, that's why dogs cost what they do. 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, whatever the number is, right? That number is determined by the amount of work that's put in and years put in to line breed, to outcross, to be innovative and create a new hyper type to basically improve the standard and quality of our dogs. So where were we here? Okay. So in my opinion, it really does come down to the pedigree. You know, you got to look at the parents, the grandparents, right? You know, what's the cost of line breeding? You know, 2 or 3 times over. It's generational, right? So to get a good line bred puppy, male or female, you're looking at, you know, 3, 4, 5 years in the making, and then to outcross, that's another 6 months. See, so it does take time, and how much is that time worth? Do you have time to create a double line bred girl, and how long would it take you? So when you're talking to breeders or you know, inquiring about price, definitely you guys keep that in consideration, because you certainly don't want to be insulting to anybody who is passionate about this and puts a lot of time, research and thought and creativity. You know, let's be mindful and respectful of other people's passions and crafts. You know, and it's there's nothing wrong with negotiating or, you know, asking for a little leeway, but let's also keep that in mind, because these dogs aren't cheap to begin with to invest in, and especially the feeds and the medicals and the care, continuous care over the years. I mean, it really is a commitment, very big commitment. The cost of acquiring quality materials, right, to start off with. Oops, sorry about that. I mean, it's a lot. All you got to do is pick one dog, right? Here you go. Sin City's Goya, right? Now let's go down this rabbit hole so you guys can understand what I'm saying. Sin City, Goya. Let's see if we can find them. Okay, we got them on Pitpedia. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. He's owned by Blueberry Kennels. I know that because I went down this rabbit hole already. So let me show you guys kind of the research and homework that goes behind this stuff in order to make the right decisions to, basically embody my vision, right? So let's look at their males from Blueberry. Okay, dinosaur, where are you? Okay, here's a little more updated picture of him. Goya. So here, head size 26, 125 pounds, color platinum tri-merle. His stud fee is $10,000, right? So if you guys don't know what that is, basically it is semen collection from this dog that is shipped to you next day that can be artificially inseminated to your female one of three ways. Standard AI, you can do a surgical, or I forgot the other one, but it's also an AI. So anyhow, just the stud fee alone of this dog is $10,000. So, again, that's what I'm telling you guys. When you reach out to people and look at a puppy and you have interest, definitely do your homework first. You don't want to be insulting with prices and stuff like that. You want to come correct at somebody, and so that you get treated the same, right? That's how I feel about it. So here you go, Goosebump, right? We just saw Goosebump on that pedigree. His stud fee $7,500, and he's a first pick off Markov, which we all know is, a legendary dog. So back to it, guys. Pedigrees give us a lineage to follow and to understand characteristics of the past dogs that created the present dog we're looking at now, right? Reading and understanding pedigree allows us to make better decisions as breeders, to correct and improve future generations, right? Because again, no dog is perfect. You can get a pretty clean dog, right? And what I mean by that, I look at it by 6 points. I look at the spread, the shoulders, the headpiece, the muzzle, the neck, the stop, the top line, the back, the rear, the rear muscles, the rear angulation, right? The feet, how straight are the feet, east, west, in or out, boat out. So there's a lot of points, right? And even a clean dog may be pretty clean, and he's not going to have like that exaggerated chest and shoulders that you like. And kind of the fun part, the creative part of breeding is to really, you want to exaggerate the features that you like while maintaining the dog as clean as you can is the challenge, right? Like, I like a nice headpiece, I like that wide-chested dog, nice shoulders, right? However, I'm not going to do that and just have a tiny rear on the back end. It's a lot of balance, right? And a lot of mixing and matching to, to see what hits the best. Anyhow, sorry, went down a rabbit hole there. Ultimately, we want to raise the standard and the quality of the breed, right? Outcrosses are necessary. Line breeding is super necessary because line breeding gives you the consistency, right, to lock in the traits that you really, that you're trying to really showcase. And then when you bring in that outcross vigor, that's when you're going to bring something of just craziness, to be honest with you. So anyhow, sorry about went down this rant about pedigrees. You know what? Let me touch on this one real quick. Speaking of outcrosses and line breeds, again, this is Godiva, big fan of hers. I'm not getting paid to do this, by the way. Jose is a good friend of mine. He's my breeder from Blueberry, Illinois. He has another breeding with her to Rhino. Now check this out, right? Rhino, he's owned by Madhouse XL Bullies, Russell Young. Scroll down real quick. So we just went over Godiva, how line bred she was. Well, look at this guy. Looky here. You see this? He's off of HBK's roulette, which means what? He's off of Markov, right? On the dad side, Star-Lord, who's also off Markov. We already know that Goosebump is off Markov. and Zoe is off Roulette, who's off of Markov. So, what do you consider this breeding right here? And by the way, Jose produced Rhino once upon a time. So that just shows you how much time this takes, right? So anyhow, the answer is this is a line breeding they're doing. And the puppies are going to be a line bred, not an outcross. Does that make sense? So earlier I went over the other litter Godiva had, and I bought 2 outcrosses off a line bred girl. This time he's going to double down and line breed again. And guess what? I'm getting a puppy off this litter. You're damn right I am. Look at this. This is freaking amazing. I don't own either one of these dogs. I do not make money from mentioning this at all. I am just a fan. I'm a fan of a lot of people out here doing great work. And Jose and Russell are definitely 2 of those guys that, you know, inspire me to do better things. And so Jose did an outcross. Now he's doing a line breed. This is what I mean by how long it takes to produce a line bred dog and the value of the dog. So, you know, guys, this episode is about pedigrees. Pedigrees are important for breeding. It should be important to you as well as if you're just a pet home person, just want a pet. Because of course, you know, we all want a quality companion. And so whether you're just a pet home person, a show person, or a breeder, it should absolutely matter to you. Unless someone's just giving you a free dog, then I guess it doesn't matter, right? But if you're investing your time, resources, 1, you're going to buy a dog, right? That's going to cost money. 2, you're going to raise this dog. You're going to get his shots. 3, you're probably going to spoil this dog by it a bed and toys and whatnot and treats and feeding it. There is a cost to owning a dog. It's a real thing. And so if you're going to invest in a dog, no matter your purpose, you definitely should look at the pedigree. Understand what you're getting, because you should get the most for your investment always. And I would always advise you to do that, because let's just say you're a fan of something that I'm doing. For me, I'm not breeding anything that I'm not a fan of, that I'm not trying to perpetuate and even outdo. And so anybody who, you know, invests in my production, I want to give you exactly what I'm looking for. And so guys, if you're spending your money, definitely look at the pedigrees. And if you can't find the peds online, again, I'll go back to that. It's a little bit discouraging, right? So in summary, guys, I went on a rant on this one, but Dog Talk episode 2 is about pedigrees. If you are still watching, please give this a like or subscribe. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment below. Otherwise, you can DM me on Instagram, Sumo Bully Kennels at Instagram. Definitely comment. You know, I love the exchange with you guys. I love you know, some of you guys aren't commenting, but you're hitting me up directly. I appreciate that, because I certainly want to talk about things that I can help people with. And you know, and I learn a lot from, you know, a lot of you guys too that reach out to me. So thank you very much again. Happy Sunday, Bully fam. Earl with Sumo Bully Kennels, and I'll catch you on the next one.